Hey guys, how are we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another video. In this video, I'm going to just quickly discuss a few macro things, and I'm going to dive into XRP and crypto. I've been talking about these different macro elements, and the reason I wanted to talk about them before we jump into XRP is because what I've been saying is I think the environment's setting up for a move back towards risk on. Specifically here, we're looking at the DXY. The DXY has bounced off the top of the range and is losing strength for whatever reason that might be. I haven't been that up to date with what's going on in the currency markets, particularly in the last few weeks. I know that obviously CPI, and we talked about this, CPI came in lower than expected for the second month. The second month in a row where people weren't expecting as much of a decrease in CPI. So we're leaning back towards a looser monetary policy in some senses for the Fed. The dollar is actually losing some strength against the Japanese yen, which I said I thought was going to happen. I didn't know exactly how this would happen, but again, I thought it was going to happen because basically we've not really seen, in the last 30 years, the yen hasn't been as weak as it is right now against the dollar, but in the last few weeks it's gained strength. Structurally, nothing's changed yet. We're just back testing support on the yen, so anything could happen in the next few weeks, but that's just something to keep your eye on. Another indicator I've been checking out basically is gold. I've said, look, I mean indicator for in terms of a macro sense. Gold's been holding pretty strong whilst Bitcoin's been chopping around this range / coming down. So all of these things, and as the stock market has as well, the stock market has been ripping to new all-time highs. But then there's a few things that are interesting in the last few weeks, and we're going to get into them right now. But what basically my point is, everything's been saying that risk on's looking pretty good, whilst Bitcoin and crypto specifically has not been performing as well. Let's have a look at a few things that might indicate to us that things are about to change. We looked at the DXY. The other thing I want to look at is the Russell, which are the top 2,000 stocks in the US. Basically, I think they're 2,000 companies, top 2,000 companies. So they've actually gained and broken through a specific resistance of the 0.618, I think that is. Yeah, the 0.618 resistance level here, which they've been struggling to break through as a collective, as an ETF, as a collective for, realistically, probably 10 to 12 weeks. So these are kind of like small caps, or the way if you wanted to compare it to crypto, you could say these are like alts, and the main bags have been pushing the market up. So your Nvidia or Nvidia, Apple, these Microsoft, these companies have been holding majority of the gains for the Nasdaq and for the S&P 500 in general. As we know, Nvidia's been absolutely ripping, but then the last week specifically, we've had a bigger rotation into the Russell. And why is that important? Well, for me, that shows that some liquidity is starting to move around in the equity space, not just into the Magnificent Seven, but looking at other things as well. So let's have a look at Bitcoin now. Bitcoin's managed to, so far, hold this support level that I do personally think we will have a path like I drew out a few weeks ago, where we may, it's possible that we have one little further flush down to touch this support area here before we move off. But then as I say that, we do actually have a lower level of leverage in the system right now. So that's not a guarantee like I thought it was before. Depends what happens in the next few days. But the interesting part to me is XRP right now, guys. And I mean, you can see it in the percentage gain even today. We're starting to come up off the bottom of the level that we've talked about. We've talked about this range for a long time. We've said, look, this grey box here is a range. This is a range. These are a deviation and liquidity grabs. We had the lowest close ever in the last week, and then this week so far we've just printed a fat green candle and basically eaten all that price action from the last 4, 5, 6 weeks of sideways to downwards chop. But the interesting parts and the things that we've been covering a lot are XRP versus Bitcoin, which is about to get these bullish closes that I was talking about. So we'll talk about XRP versus Bitcoin now. So if we look on the daily time frame, we've been chopping around this area for ages. I kept saying to you guys, look, we're really close to breaking out, and then we came down. We had this big liquidation wick here. I said, look, we're holding this level still, even after losing. After losing it, we had that pullback in one day back above this resistance level or support level. And then I was like, look, please can we just get that close above this white line here? It's my first bullish level, and then this would be looking for a close above here. This would be the confirmation of looking towards a bullish reversal, is what I've been saying to you guys, but it felt like a long way away. However, we've done a 12% 12.5% in the last 2 days, and we've only got another 2-3% to go if we want to be closing above those bullish levels. The same with XRPETH. I'll keep saying to you guys, we're making higher lows. I'm looking for a close above this line. I said as soon as we get a close above this line, we're looking pretty positive. We got that close yesterday, bang. So far today, obviously nothing's confirmed yet, but so far today, look, we've reclaimed that whole big drop. I think that was when the ETH ETF was announced. We've reclaimed that whole candle. So this was the previous XRP ETH all-time low, and we're looking for bullish confirmation if we get back above this grey box here, and we've talked about this before. So I'm going to show you on the weekly time frame, so you can put this in a bit more perspective for you guys. This is how much gain there is potentially to be made for XRP against ETH. If we just go from like here to all-time highs, and like obviously never just going to jump to all-time highs straight away, but if we do, it's an if, it's like a 21x move. And XRP against Bitcoin, if we go to all-time highs, and again, like it's not just a click your fingers and here we are, we're at all-time highs, but we're just looking at some rough percentages. From here against Bitcoin, 26x, not percent, 26x. This is what I've been saying is, once you start to get these closes above these levels, you work these areas out for weeks, you find this bottom, and you get those closes. XRP prints big candles when it breaks out of resistance levels. That's historically proven. You can see it through history. It's a hard hole. We've not confirmed anything yet. I'm not saying that we have, but I am starting to get excited, and I said that I would when we started to see these things, because this is what comes next. When you get these closes above these resistance levels, you have like a 2, 3, 4, 5 week period where XRP absolutely sends it, and we're teeing up for something like that right now. Like, it's moving above and against Bitcoin and ETH, and outperforming them at the lows where it has done previously. You come off the lows, and you send it. You come off the lows here, you send it. But if we start to get these closes, and I'm talking about this white line here, which isn't far away now for the weekly close, another few percent here for XRP against Bitcoin, you're looking at least a retest of this area, which is a further, if we get the close with this white line, a further 40% move against Bitcoin. If not, a pushback into this range, which is a further 200% move against Bitcoin. So this is the time to really have a think about it for XRP. Have a think about your exit plan. Have a think about everything that could happen, because everything on your timeline could all of a sudden flip positive. We've got the Ripple stablecoin, RLUSD. We've got the potential decision from Judge Torres incoming. We've got DeFi on the XRP ledger with the AMM starting to kick into action. We've got Flare Networks coming out with F assets that also might lock up supply for XRP. All of a sudden, you might see a bullish narrative across all the timeline for XRP. And what are you going to do then? How are you going to feel? Remember, don't keep your emotions in check when these sorts of things happen. Have your exit plan ready. And I'm not saying that we're about to send it to all-time highs, although I do think that is possible. Let me be clear. I think that is possible. I've been looking for something like this. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I definitely think that's possible, because these are the things that history shows us. This is where that happens. So have your take profit plan in order. Keep your emotions in check. Check yourself and check the charts. But it's looking exciting. XLM's going. XRP's going. I'm ready for it. We've been waiting for a long time. We're not confirmed anything yet, but we've taken the first step in the last few days. Let's see if this continues to play out. If you enjoyed the video, guys, please do share it with a friend, and let me know if you've got any questions down below in the comments section. Peace up, A-Town down, Crypto Insight UK would say.